The next set of interviews. Get ready, Jamie. This is the one you want to hear.
Another way to get someone off. It's wonderful.
What do you think about sex in the 90s?
But the 90s is very good. Sex is very good. I like it 90s better because when I come to America, they have the best sex in the whole world, better than my goat country.
What's the funniest thing about sex to you?
The funniest thing is, how do you say, oral sex. Very good. I love oral sex. Best thing in America.
He said the funniest thing. I found it so
Everyone says we have the best sex. We love it, folks. They love it.
I love that. First of all, it's just like saying America has the best sex in the world. Even in 1990, it wasn't. It was pretty chaste. We live in a pretty chaste. I think we still live in a pretty chaste country.
Compared to most other places, absolutely, we're so far behind and repressed.
With an undercurrent of freakiness. Yeah. I mean, it's two sides of the coin, right? Because we have this puritanical, repressive shit, but that just makes people freakier in their private lives.
Yeah, but I mean, but we can't even get like nudity in like on like the regular TV or anything. We can't. I don't know. I feel that like America just is very prudish overall as a culture.
I mean, that's why you got to pay for HBO to see some titties.
Well, they got rid of it. We had to pirate this. Because they even HBO said people can find. It's funny because the reason this isn't on HBO Max is because they said people can find porn elsewhere, but it's like this isn't porn. This is like not. Yeah, I don't feel like this is for jacking off to. I mean, maybe it was in 1990, but now it's a curiosity. It's a fun thing to watch.
If you think that this is porn and Game of Thrones isn't, I've got some good news for you, pal.
fucked, and I'm still cold. I never rolled my window up. I'm good, yeah. Everything's fine.
It's funny because when I was a kid, there was a big scandal in my neighborhood because there was this. So in the newspaper, it came out that there had been a fight about women being legally allowed to be topless outside. There was a whole situation in the early 90s where women were saying, you know, we want to be able to be topless outside too. And then they passed the law because they said it's wrong that men can do it, but women can't. And this woman started mowing her lawn without her shirt on. And there was this huge fucking scandal in the neighborhood where like people were just like calling the police on her and all kinds of stuff. And the police were having to be like, it's not illegal. I mean, I wish you wouldn't do it, but it's not illegal. And like as teen
have
boys,
it on their outgoing voicemail. Like, please stop telling us about the titties.
We're aware of the bare-breasted lawnmower.
And like the kids as a boy in the neighborhood, I was like, man, that's fucking cool, man. Where is this at? But they can never tell you like where it was. But we would talk about it all the time. And you know, every once in a while, a dude would be like, I fucking saw her, dude. She was mowing her grass.
I'm just picturing all these like 16-year-old boys like getting a boner every time they hear a lawnmower start up because it might be their day.
Booking it down the corner on their BMX bikes to see if she's topless.
Yeah, I mean, that used to titillate me so much, dude. When I was a kid, I would just think, like, what if, like, I'd be out walking around and be like, what if I fucking walk by her house and she's out there mowing?
What's up, Street Fight? How's it going, people? Party people. Everybody. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday night. Coming to you through the internet. We're streaming. I got my daughter this week, so hopefully my audio isn't too fucked up if you're on the live stream. Twitch.tv/StreetFightRadio. Watch the show instead of listening to it. You can see our smiling faces as you watch the show. And talk to other people in the chat about what you're hearing, whether you agree, whether you disagree, you know, the two standard opinions. You can find us on WCRS LP FM here in Columbus, Ohio. That's the bandwidth we're on right now. That's 98.3 or 98 or 92.7 on your radio dial here in Columbus, Ohio. And this week on Patreon, there's a new Teen Fight Radio with Gwen. So if you want to hear that, head to patreon.com/streetfightradio. And we'll keep doing it as long as y'all keep supporting it and giving good reviews and telling friends and family and bugging people to have us as guests on their shows. We love it and we appreciate it. Couldn't do it without all y'all. And let's get it started. How's it going, Brian?
Pretty good. You know, I had an excellent workout today. It was one of the best ones I've had. So
Okay.
that was great.
What does that mean?
The cardio I didn't almost die doing cardio today, which felt very good because the last time I did cardio, because I didn't work out yesterday because I had to, I went to therapy at 1 and then got out of there at 2 and then drove to the ketamine place and did the ketamine thing immediately after therapy. And man, that guy really doesn't understand what the ketamine thing is. My therapist, he's just like, so are you having any big what did he say? He's like, just hey, try to think about some of this stuff in your life while you're on the ketamine. And I was like, brother, I mean, I would love to do that. It's very hard to think about. It's very hard to come up with a thing to think about, It's fucking so scatterbrained. I did use Mall Muzak yesterday, and it was so good. It was so fucking good. I loved it. It sounded so good in because it's all horns and shit. So it sounded so good. I really enjoyed that. But yeah. So
I'm also wondering with the therapy guy though too is like, are you supposed to be reflecting on stuff, or is it just supposed to just shoot the anxiety out of your brain and replace it with ketamine?
I don't know. I don't really know.
I mean, I feel like you can't just erase someone's anxiety with chemicals. It has to feel like there'd be a little bit of intention from the mind that's creating the mess.
Yeah, and I try yesterday. I really did try to focus on things that that I've been worrying about and shit like that. But the lady told me yesterday that I'm the first person she's ever had that talked through the whole thing.
That does not surprise me. And once again, I agree that should have ramped it up until you shut the hell up. I would have just plunged another one right in there and be like, shut up.
So she did go harder than the other lady. She informed me right away, I'm gonna go higher for you there, and she did.
So there's cool teachers at the ketamine clinic then.
I don't know what she meant by that. She was just she was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more. You okay with that? And I'm like, lady, I don't even know how much is
right.
What. Nobody told me how much anything is. It's like when we first went to Denver that first time, and we went to the dispensary as soon as we fucking got there. And we went in there. Oh, no, I'm talking about at the Canna Carnival, actually. That's actually the first time we ever were standing at a place where we could buy weed. And I remember we're standing there talking to this guy, and he's like, well, this one is 50 milligrams. This one's 10 milligrams. And you're like, what the fuck are milligrams? How am I supposed to know what milligram? I've never had somebody tell me milligrams. And I always felt like the best way for them to solve that problem is to extrapolate the milligrams to amounts of a standard weed that would have existed before legalization. Right.
Okay.
So they would be like, oh, so for a joint, you would do 10 milligrams, right? That's what a joint is, probably 10 milligrams. So when I say what's 10 milligrams, I'd be like, well, it's like taking a joint to the, straight up smoking a half a joint. You know what I mean? And then you're like, what's 50 milligrams? And they're like, well, remember when you would sit down and smoke a whole quarter of dirt weed? It's like that. That would have helped, but I couldn't figure it out. And I mean, obviously you remember, but I fucking flipped out the first day we were at that thing. I did 200 milligrams of weed and like, I don't know, in like 30 minutes and just went fucking nuts because I didn't know what a milligram was. And then you asked them, I remember I was like, what is a normal amount? And they were like, well, are you a heavy weed user? At that time, I would have been considered a heavy weed user. I was smoking those Black and Mild blunts all the time and shit like that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm a heavy user. And she's like, so am I. And I'm like, and she's like, so
you didn't know what recreational heavy user is?
We had no idea. I had no fucking clue what any of it was. So when a lady,
just to finish that story off. So then what happened is Brian laid in the front seat of his car for about 4 hours. Katie was standing outside of the car just trying to calm him down, and no one could really go near it. I went near you one time and you like looked over your shoulders and your eyes were so fucking wide. You were so panicked, and we were supposed to go on stage, and you did go on stage, but you were like a soaking wet trembling mess that was gray. You were gray. Like you were just standing in the corner, like frozen, talking like you are you, but zero life anywhere else. No life in your eyes. No, you looked like a drowned rat.
I've never felt that way again in my life. And I kind of even give that credit for me cutting my tolerance way down. You know what I mean? Like that day was just like,
this shit's too dangerous.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fuck with this stuff anymore. And now my tolerance is so low. It's kind of, you know, I don't use very much. And I think that day I think that broke something in my fucking brain. So like, I don't know, but the ketamine lady was like, yeah, do you care if I give you more? And I'm like trying to be in a doctor's office situation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to fucking like ask me. Like when I go to the doctor, they aren't like, hey man, you want more Dilaudid? They don't like ask you those questions. And that's really what I want, is for them to just give me what they think is the amount that it would take to make me feel better.
Yeah, put on a fucking white jacket and come in here and write down a prescription amount that you're providing, so it makes me feel like you thought about this or know what you're doing at all. Instead, you're acting like when you know the ecstasy dealer at the club and everybody gets one, and then he like holds you back and is like, here's an extra, man. You're cool. You're cool. You look like you can do drugs.
Yeah, I mean, she was like asking me, she was like answering my stuff that I was saying out loud, but I don't know much of what I was saying out loud. And she was like, oh yeah, all I know is that I yelled that I was going to be eating steak later tonight. I was like, I got a fucking big ass steak, man, and that nobody can bother me with my big steak. And then I remembered saying that, and then as I'm leaving, she was like, hey, enjoy your steak. And I was like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. How do you know I had steak? And then you can kind of remember stuff like that happened during the thing, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I can't believe I talked through the whole fucking thing. And
I surprised me.
Couldn't even believe when it was over, because I thought I'd been doing it for like 10 minutes. You know, I thought this thing had been going on for 10 minutes because I was talking. But so
did you talk through the whole thing the first one?
Not as much. No, not as much.
Oh my God.
I didn't. This time was the most talky I've ever been. I've only been to 2. But like, yeah, I just couldn't stop fucking talking. I don't like know what it was. I think it was like, sometimes I do stuff like, sometimes like I'll talk and talk and talk so that like I don't get scared, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking through this thing so that I don't get scared. I did fucking, it's so weird because I was like sitting in the chair yesterday, and I was like, right before it kicked in, I read that Gilbert Gottfried had died, and I told the lady, And I was like, yeah, it's really sad, man. I really love that guy. And she was just like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And I was like, people are gonna want to know my opinion on that. I know for a fact. I fucking said that right before I started to really trip. I was like, yeah, people are gonna want to know my opinion on that. And I'm like when I got out, I was so embarrassed. Like, why would I say that to that lady, man? That's a humiliating thing to say out loud.
Oh, I mean, podcaster is it's very weird. When I had my dermatologist appointment, it got revealed early on, and then the lady was like, I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. And I'm like, oh no. No.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's hard to explain. People don't believe it, you know. I had a visit with my psychiatrist last night, and it got brought up at the very end. And I'm still kind of nervous because I don't know about the guy.
Yeah. 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 I can always tell Gwen, because Gwen gets that way when she was in therapy. She like didn't like the first person. I was like, what? I said, what didn't you like about her? I mean, you got to be able to answer that question, I think, before you start to go to a different place. And she was like, oh, she's just like, she's not very cool. I saw an Imagine Dragons poster behind her while I was doing it, and I just can't. I can't like trust somebody to talk to that's that uncool. And I'm like, that's not a good fucking reason to like. My therapist is a huge fucking dork. Sorry if you're listening, Philip, but like he's a huge dork.
I can feel completely understood by Gwen in the same way. So I finally got a doctor's appointment. I had to go through a fucking Instagram app. Basically I tried to go through my regular doctor, and I went to the portal, and they were like, you have to call us. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I tried to schedule it online. It wouldn't let me. Then I emailed my doctor, and he was like, you have to call to make an appointment. And I'm like, do it for me, doctor. And they wouldn't. I went to that dermatologist. He's like, I'll put in a referral. I tried to get the referral. It didn't work. I realized that because my insurance changed, that I have to change full doctors and everything for this to make sense. Otherwise I'm paying extra, you know?
I fucking hate that shit, man. Ugh.
So I signed up for an Instagram mental health doctor that can prescribe pills. But I met with him last night, and man, I hate this telehealth more than anything in the world. I hate seeing where they're at. Like the people setups, I'm like, you're playing Elden Ring. You're playing Elden Ring right now while I'm talking to you. You're not fucking paying attention to me. The guy last night had that situation where the camera is just set to be like your upper lip and above. You know how like kids get out of schoolwork?
Yeah.
And the telling thing was on his wall. He had, in chat, I want to know your opinion. This is similar to an Imagine Dragons poster. He had a steel cow skull made of steel. A cow, you see?
It makes you think he's racist.
Yes!
For some reason, it makes me think he's racist. I don't know why.
Yes.
But like it's what we were talking about with it's what we were talking about with there was on the call-in show last week. We had like a little bit of a talk about The Rock, what's it called? His Under Armour gear. And it all has that skull on, that cow skull on it. And look, people can like cows. I like cowboys too. I'm not trying to say anything wrong, but like there's a different the cow skulls like always have like some kind of, there's always a conservative behind one of those.
Yeah, I did. So freaks and weirdos and goths do collect skulls. I did have a cow skull that I bought when I lived in Texas that I used to keep on the wall. But once you start like drawing them and painting them or making them out of metal, even like just a hand painted watercolor cow skull with some flowers growing out of it, not an alarm bell. Cow skull made out of metal just feels too tough. But he was a really nice guy. I'm not going to judge him for it. I told him the name of the podcast. if we argue about politics, I'll just cut his ass. I'll cuss him out. I do not care about his feelings. I'll cuss him out and just find someone else.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like I don't know if my doctor has gone looking for me yet. I mean, I get the impression.
Why would they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who would ever do that?
Yeah, and I get the impression that if I'm leaving, the second I walk out the door, he stops thinking about me until the next time he sees me.
Right.
Like I don't think that he's thinking about me all day.
So you made progress. You've actually made progress then.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if he's listened to the show or not. He doesn't give me the vibe of a guy that would even listen to a podcast. But I told you about the time I said something about NPR dipshits, and he was like, "Oh, I like NPR," and I said in the sentence I said NPR dipshits. But for some reason, when he said that, I was kind of like, I think I trust this guy because I don't want somebody that I want an NPR listener to be my therapist over like somebody who's like, oh, these fucking NPR dipshits. Like a guy that listens to us or Chapo, I don't want him to be my therapist. I prefer an NPR guy.
No, I've been so worried because I don't trust these people. I feel like most of the time they just want you to be a good employee or a good worker. Like I'm turned off by the idea of being productive or helpful in this society. And I'm never gonna give that up. I think to be helpful and productive and to fit in is a horrible thing to do in this disgusting world.
Yeah.
And I want a doctor that listens.
It's so funny that Treetop DeLorean said Brian needs a therapist who has wrestling posters on the wall and lots of personal experience with drugs. And I'm gonna tell you, my therapist not only doesn't have experience with drugs, but every time I talk about how much I like professional wrestling, I feel like he's laughing at me behind his eyes.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, I deserve it. You know, I'm a 43-year-old man that like shaped his whole work schedule around professional wrestling.
No, fuck those snooty assholes. They suck.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
they're the morons.
I like the guy. He seems cool. Sometimes I do think when I get in there, and you'll probably get this too when you're talking to like a therapist. Sometimes I feel like when I get in there, he like thought about it before I got there, and he's like, I'm gonna push him today. I'm gonna kind of push him today to solve some of his problems. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And that, I think, like, part of me is like, man, I really want this to be an organic experience, but I guess like that's not. I mean, they have to rehearse or take notes or something like that, but it doesn't. There are times where I feel like this does not feel like his vibe has been different since the minute I walked in today. And then the next time I go, his vibe is back to the old way. And I'm like, I feel like I'm like, and I feel smart because I'm like, I fucking caught his ass, man. He's been practicing this week. I just want it to be a conversation or something. So I don't know. It's fun. And it's not fun, but I mean, he really, my guy, I can guarantee there is nothing about his personality outside of that room that I would like, is what I know. You know what I mean? Just like he seems like a guy that would be a pretty boring dude. And to me, in my opinion, not like a boring dude in real life. I'm sure people love him, but like to me, if I met him, I'd be like, God damn, dude, you're fucking boring. So, yeah.
Well, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. And like with my guy, he seems okay, but I always feel like I trick them. Like I could tell he liked me by the end of it. And I'm like, I hate this. Like, I hate it. He called me smart and he called me with it. And he gave these just like fucking platitudes that sounded like just, oh, things are going to get better. We're on the right path type stupid ass meaningless bullshit.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I'm that depressed is why that it sounds like meaningless bullshit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't know if I feel like I'm not telling the whole truth sometimes, and I'm still working on like being completely honest about how fucked up I am.
It takes a lot of time, man, because I know that, man, I'm so guarded around any kind of a person that pretends to be a doctor or is a doctor or is in the doctor field, like, because I don't trust any of 'em. I don't know why, but I really, I don't feel like I trust any doctors. I don't think I
Yeah.
trusted my therapist. I don't think I trust my I definitely don't trust my psychiatrist. And like I don't know why. I can't get past it. I just have this thing in my mind that when they see me, I guess when they see me, they see something that is like pathetic, or a junkie, or somebody that's like trying to get drugs and shit like that. And like I think like I'm not super sure why that happens, but you know.
Really? I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
always think they think I'm doctor shopping. I have always since
because you would like to,
2006.
in your heart of hearts, you would like to be doctor shopping.
I fucking have said thank you.
So you
for
feel
saying
guilty that they know what you
Thank you for
want.
fucking saying that, because I said that to somebody online. I was like, dude, if I wanted benzos, I could doctor shop. I don't give a shit to well, I don't want to meet a bunch of different doctors. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do the appointments, but like, I know that there are doctors that I could go to that could prescribe me the things that I want to do. It's almost like at that period where I was really strung out on painkillers. It's like I knew there was a path to a pain management clinic. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that that path was there and that I could get in there. Like, it would be easy to figure out,
Yeah.
obviously back at that time, you just said your back hurt because they can't fix back pain, or back pain could be a million different things. So, and I never did. And like, I thought I was doctor shopping for years until my therapist said, Brian, you've had the same doctor since like 2004. And you just got a psychiatrist, and it's not like you're switching there. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but but you're right, dude. I want a doctor shop because I want good fucking drugs,
I don't know. My opinion about your doctor, though, is that I think she thought you were way normal than you are. And this is
Yeah.
why I feel in the same situation, as I feel like old white guys, like they just take our word for stuff. Like they
Oh, yeah.
never distrust. And like, I know all the right stuff to say. I've read every single self-help book. I've read all of the Reddits. I've done all of the stuff. I know all of the right moves. I cannot bring myself to do them. My life
Yeah.
is a fucking catastrophe, and they don't believe me. And they're just like, oh, you know what to do. Just eat your vegetables and do your
Yeah.
exercises, and you'll want to get up in the morning. And it's like, I've given up on that over and over and again my whole fucking life. Why aren't you listening to me?
It's what I do too. It is actually like the thing about the gym with me right now is really like, I am pleased with myself because I've gone almost every day for 3 months. And I'm also pleased with myself that I'm able to take days off. Like, that I will take a day off every now and then. I think I've taken like 5 days off since January, but like, there was a time where those 5 days would have made me feel devastated. You know what I mean? Like, I would have just been like, you fucked up, man. You don't go, you're not trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, now I can take a day off. I can, and I'm actually doing it. Like, I'm actually going and doing the stuff that I said I wanted to do. So I treat that like a victory. And that my mental health is maybe getting better. I feel a lot better today. It is wild how that ketamine stuff, I don't know if it's placebo or what, but like, man, I don't know. I think it's so, I have noticed after both of these appointments that my life is noticeably weird without anxiety. Like, it just feels odd that I don't have the pit in my stomach because it's been there for so long, like just there all the time. And it's so fucking weird.
Hmm.
So
yeah, I
must
was
be
thinking,
work.
yeah, maybe it is. It is. I was thinking about it last week when I asked you about like the ego death thing, because it reminded me, like in 2018 when we moved back to Columbus, I was really, really, really depressed. And that's when I tried therapy for the first time. And I also read that Bell Hooks book, The Will to Change. and I went over to my dude's house to get some weed, and he set me up with this dab that completely fucking rocked my world. Like it was exactly like the Black Sabbath Sweet Leaf. It was just like I was coughing, and then it was all fuzz, and then it was all stars, and I could not see. I was completely gone. I was flying through like tessellations and flying through like fractals and shit. I saw like an image of Jesus, and I saw like an image of Buddha and stuff swirling around, and it lasted so fucking long. And then I went out into my car and I like cried for like 15 straight minutes. Like I felt like I had died. I had know what it was like to die. And then like really readjusted me on how important it was to be alive and how much I like being alive. Fuck, if I could do that again, it would be the best. That's my goal on dabs every time.
It's so weird to me that like how it, I don't know how it makes, how I guess getting out of your head can make things better, because I don't know. It feels weird not to have the anxiety. It feels very, very fucking strange. And then also to have that good workout in it today was incredible. But I got a quiz for you, Brett. You want to take a quiz for me?
I love quizzes. Yeah. Is it about which Minions character I am? Am I Kevin?
This is a different one. I got 3 drugs. Okay.
Okay.
I got 3 drugs. There's OxyContin. Okay. Xanax. And Adderall, methamphetamine or amphetamines. Okay. I went to the DEA's website to read an article, and I want to give you a couple of street names from the DEA's website and see if you can tell me what drug I'm talking about.
What are they again? Meth?
There's Adderall, Xanax, and OxyContins.
Oh, so these are street names for prescription pills.
For prescription pills, yes. The first one I'm going to go with, the first one I'm going to ask you is, let's go with Study Skittles.
Adderall. Yeah, my ex-wife took so much that she had to go to the hospital because she stayed up too long, procrastinated her way into staying up for 72 hours and having to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's one. Bicycle handlebars.
That's Xanax.
All right.
It's so obvious. People know what bars are. It is funny also, like when I used to tweet like, hey, you want to go skiing this weekend when it's like August? And it's like, if I got pulled in front of a judge, everybody in the room knows what I'm talking about here. Yeah. But handlebars, I get it. I mean, handlebars is something. That's like the hipster part of town.
I don't think it exists. I don't think handlebars is a real one. I really don't. This is one of the ones I don't think. I've never. How come I've never heard somebody say handlebars? How come I've never heard a rapper say handlebars? Like this seems like a made up DEA one. Yeah.
You know, also a lot of these they bust one person that came up with a weird name for something, and then they start spreading that around like they dug up some secret code.
Yeah. So I got one for you here. Hulk, like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, wow. So I don't feel none. I guess I'm going to go Adderall.
These are Xanax. Hulk is Xanax.
How?
That one I'm trying to figure out. I got one thought. Yellow. Some of the bars are yellow.
Okay.
So it or green. They have green bars too, because I got a green bar at the Gathering of the Juggalos. Maybe that's why it's called Hulk.
I'm looking at them. Yeah, it's because they're the color of Hulk. Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's one right here. Muchachas.
That could. I mean, yeah. Not my part of the country. I didn't do much nicknames like that. What are muchachas? Wait, would they be like? No, I'm thinking maracas. Because like, do the little football shaped Xanax count as maracas or something? Muchachas. What is muchachas anyway? I'm gonna just go with Xanax because we haven't had it yet. I'm sorry.
OxyContin.
OxyContin is what I was going to say because we haven't had it yet. Sorry.
Okay. Here's one. We got one here. I'm gonna go with truck drivers.
Adderall.
That's you got
Gotta
that
stay
one.
up.
Yeah. How about I will go with. Let me see here. Oh, here's one I've never heard. Roxy shorts. Roxy shorts.
Roxy shorts?
This one actually makes sense to me, but yeah,
Like
Roxy shorts.
Roxaset? Like, I don't. Is it Xanax? No, it's OxyContin.
It is because of Roxaset. That is where it came from. I used to get Roxy's a lot. I'm gonna do one more here. Well, we'll do two more. I wish I had been keeping score here. That would have been smart. Oh, here's one I got. This one I think you'll get this. School bus.
The Xanax bar?
Damn, I thought you were gonna say Adderall, but it is. That's true. Xanax.
Long, square. Yeah.
Yeah. Last one here. Last one we'll get here. Zings. Zing.
Zings. Let me get some zings.
Yeah, let me get a zing.
A zing. What is a zing?
I don't like it does sometimes to me it doesn't some of these don't feel like the feeling that you think it's going to give you, if that makes sense. You know, like bicycle handlebars or like school bus. Like school bus doesn't make me think of benzos at all. You know, it actually school bus makes me think of Adderall, to tell you the truth.
Or Ritalin, yeah.
Yeah, because they always love to put school in their Adderalls. I can't even get you a lot of Adderall ones because so many of them are like obvious, like Abby, Addie, A Train. Kids are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zing.
College. Zing, I'm just gonna go with Xanax because it has the Z name.
Damn, that's the first Adderall one you got wrong. That is actually Adderall.
Okay, so that is talking about the feeling.
Yeah, the feeling that you get from Adderall is definitely Zing. Although I've only done Adderall like once. I talked to so many people online that are like, yeah, I finally got my Adderall prescription. I almost said subscription, but that's what it sounds like when you say that. It's an Adderall subscription.
It is. Delivered directly to your door.
Yeah. So those are some, I posted these on Twitter. I mean, so I'll read all of them off for you here. The OxyContins, the street names are 30s, 40s, 512s, which that was the names back then. Beans, which the beans, I guess.
That's rap. Tons of rappers say that. Papa Bean.
Okay. Blues, buttons, cotton, greens, hillbilly heroin, which nobody ever said that. Nobody ever was like, I need to get some hillbilly heroin.
No, that's the NPR people that said that.
Yeah,
that's derisively. No one is like texting, hey, let me get hooked up with some hillbilly heroin.
Yeah, when you're taking, and I know this from experience as a person who did this, when you're taking painkillers, you don't want to think about their ties to heroin.
No,
it's something you're trying to keep out of your mind. Yeah, kickers, killers, muchachas, mujeres. OC, Oxy, Oxy 80s, Roxy shorts, and whites. Those are our opioids. For Xanax, you got bars, benzos, bicycle handlebars, bicycle parts, bricks, footballs, handlebars, Hulk ladders, planks, school bus sticks, Xannies, yellow boys, which that's my favorite one. Let me get some of the
yellow boy.
Xan bars, Xannies, and Z bars. And for Adderall, it's all the obvious ones: A Train, Abby, Addie, amps, Christmas trees, co-pilots, lid poppers. Great name.
Yeah, I love it.
Smart pills, which is also another perfect fucking. I love lid poppers and smart pills.
Yeah,
need to be the like name. Smarties, study buddies, study Skittles, truck drivers, and Zing. So that's the DEA's list of you can get it on their website where they where they're telling you how to tell the difference. Well, no, that would be giving them too much credit. On the DEA's website, how that they're telling you that there are a lot of fake pills out there. They're not telling you how to test them or how to fix them. They would never do that.
Right.
But they're telling you that they exist.
Of course.
So I got this story. I got to read it off my phone because it's behind a paywall. Even though I have a jump the paywall, I used jump the paywall and then copied it like on then copied it into a thing. So Here we go. Oh, it's so hard to read this. Okay. Starbucks Corp Chief Executive Howard Schultz is ramping up the company's campaign against the unionization push in its U.S. stores, saying new benefits being developed for chain employees legally can't be extended to unionized locations.
Nice.
Starbucks, this is, I mean, when I just saw this article, it's the Wall Street Journal, and I saw, this feels illegal to me. This actually does feel illegal to like, I'm surprised it's not.
That they're allowed to just report what Starbucks wants people to think instead of what the actual law is.
I mean, doesn't it seem illegal for Starbucks to say the unionized stores don't get we got all these new benefits, which as far as I know, it's just NFTs or something. We got all these new benefits and
NFTs.
I mean, y'all can unionize, but I mean, we're not going to give you any. You're not going to get them. You're going to want to quit the union store and go to a different store.
No thanks to the I don't know. Thank you, union. I got the Pride Starbucks logo Chase NFT. It's going to be worth $3 million by the time I retire. Also, this is like terribly. They terribly misunderstood what it means when none of the employees will work unless you pay them and give them benefits. Like the union's in charge of the healthcare now. You actually have to provide it, or no one will work at the fucking store. So you got it a little twisted here when you thought that you had bargaining power. Still, you don't anymore, Starbucks.
Yeah, I can get more actually.
Yeah,
you can keep saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, you're not gonna be able to get these brand.
We can't offer it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get more than those stores. There's no way you're going to willingly give what I'm going to take.
Yeah, that's the jumping off point for the unionized Starbucks. This is the beginning. Is we get the piddly ass benefits package you gave before, but now we'll take a little bit more, or you won't have employees.
Yeah, he says Mr. Schultz said he is reviewing the company's benefits to develop an expanded employee benefit package in an effort to better recruit and retain baristas. Mr. Schultz suspended billions of dollars in share buybacks on his first day returning as Starbucks interim CEO last week, a move he said would help the company invest more money into workers and stores. I bet you that's not being done. Mr. Schultz told store leaders that expanded benefits would help reduce attrition among Starbucks workers, but that those new benefits legally can't go to the growing number of stores that have been voted to unionize. Federal law requires separately negotiated contracts for union represented workers pay and benefits, and the company can't change their compensation unilaterally, Mr. Schultz said, citing Starbucks legal counsel. People who might be voting for a union don't really understand, let alone the dues they're going to pay. These fucking guys with the dues, it's always something about the dues. But the thing about also,
you're gonna feel real salty. That check's gonna be twice as much as it was before, but that $18 a paycheck is really gonna gnaw at you when you think about all the fat cats in your union, that are living off of it.
Yeah. That is like really, yeah. This seems so illegal to me, but I get it. I guess I get that like the unionized stores are going to have to bargain separately from the chain stores. I get it.
Yeah, but they're just doing the job of protecting the CEO and corporate America and being anti-union by making it seem so that anybody that is worried about being in the Starbucks union or whatever, they're going to read this and be like, oh no, we don't get health care,
Yeah. And it's interesting because like,
Imagine what if there was a new Instagram thing that was advertised for you, and it said for $20 a paycheck, you can have free health care, you can have vision and dental covered. They do all the bargaining, they do all the fighting for you. You just pay somebody else $20 a month instead of paying for any of the other shit that you do. Who would turn that deal down?
It's kind of like an app in a way.
Like it's like Trim or one of those, or BillBuddy.com. You know, they go while you're at work, you're doing the job. You don't have time to be in HR all day raising a fucking fit, you know, but the union does that for you. Their only job is to make the managers' lives hell. So that's what you're paying for. It's better than Disney.
You don't have to be uncomfortable either. Like that thing about like, you know, people don't want to confront their boss ever. You don't want you don't want to ask for listen, if you work at Starbucks and you go into your manager and say, I want a raise, you're not going to get a raise.
They're laughing.
It's just not going to
get in line behind me. That's
like
every fast food job is get in line behind me because I haven't got shit.
Yes, exactly. So I want to say before we move to another subject that the East Broad Street Starbucks is unionizing in Columbus, Ohio.
Westerville is too.
I have been sent a GoFundMe that is GoFundMe.com/F/community support for Starbucks workers fund. I would just go search it. There's little lines in between each word. I guess community support for Starbucks Workers Fund. I retweeted the post the other day. I'll post it again. You know, if you're with them, obviously call in Sunday. We can talk to you. I'd be curious to hear about it. I don't think we've had a Starbucks worker that is unionizing on the show yet. Hasn't really called us yet. So I would love to hear from you.
Yeah. I also, I think Ben is called in, but not about Starbucks, but his store, he's in like the New York stores that are
oh right yeah. Now. Yeah. I mean, this Howard Schultz thing is fucking crazy to me, man. This guy, because it's not crazy. I mean, he's a CEO. Did you see the Amazon consultants, the union busting Amazon consultants?
Tammy. No,
it's a Democratic. It's like Democrat.
Yes, right. The Amazon Union Busters, right?
Yeah, the Amazon Union Busters were Democrats, and it's weird because if you're the Democrats, dude, you just get on the side of this right now. Like this is the type, but they hate to ride the right coattails. You know what I mean?
It's true.
These would be the type of coattails you would ride, but instead they're like, we can't let this happen. We got to stop all this.
This is the radical left taking over. They're going to make conservatives mad, and then they're going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. Yeah. Because we unionized our Starbucks.
Yeah, they're just mad. They think it's going to make the coffee cost more or something like that, I guess. I am not really sure. So
let me tell you what Tammy is. There's a really good TikTok called Amazon Labor Union, and they posted this video of this guy walking up and confronting these two Amazon like higher up people, and he walks up and he's like, hey, what's your name? And she goes, Tammy. And he goes, you know, it's illegal to remove union documents from the break room. We're like legally protected and allowed to keep those in here. And she was like, Yep. I knew that. I'm putting them right back. I'm just putting them right back right here. I'm just putting them right back. And he goes, what's your name? She goes, Tammy. And he goes, what's your last name? He goes, Tammy. He goes, what's your full name? She goes, Tammy. He's like, all right, Tammy. They were ripping signs. Yeah, they were going and picking up the union papers to throw them away and got totally fucking caught.
Yeah. So,
I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
I regretted saying this on the show that last week because I was just kind of in the zone. I said that I would want the cops around in case there was a mass shooting incident. And it did not take them very long to prove why that's a very stupid opinion to have. The way that they fucked up this New York thing.
Yeah.
Not a single brave New York Police Department officer could do shit about it.
I think the other thing that really hit me with that thing was that he called the tip in that got him busted, that where they picked him up. So they're like bragging about like how they really kicked ass on this manhunt. And he went to a McDonald's and said, "Hey, I'm the mass shooter. I'm at McDonald's."
Okay.
So they didn't even find him. Like they didn't even go. I mean, I'm sure they were looking for him.
That guy Zach saw him though.
Zach?
That guy Zach saw him first, and then I think they didn't want to get embarrassed, so that they claimed they knew where he was before Zach pointed him out.
They're so bad. They're so fucking bad. I saw the like increased police presence at a subway station today. Somebody posted a picture of it, and they were all just standing around talking and looking at their phones. It was just, there was no other non-police people standing there, and there were like 8 cops standing there just fucking farting around. And it's just like, that's all they do, man. Their whole job is just, I mean, look, a lot of times I'll say my job is looking at my phone. I actually told the ketamine lady yesterday that my job is looking at my phone.
It is.
It is, I know. But like their job is looking at their phone too. Like me and the police have the same job. They just have more privileges, like they're allowed to kill people. And I'm not allowed to do that.
You know what? This ties in. I was thinking about this before we started, when I was smoking a bong, is that it does attract fuck off people that don't want to work. Like it attracts people that are like, you can get away with murder. This is why they choose it, because you can get away with murder. It pays a ton of money and you never have to do your job. You're treated like a god, and no one questions your fucking authority.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like I think I've said this on the show in the past.
All they do is fucking sleep. And like in Ohio, they just sit in their car and sleep.
I've said this in the past, but like when I was in my early 20s, I was like pretty like, I was working at the cable company, and I was like pretty aimless. Like I didn't know what I wanted to be or do. And I remember I was reading, I don't know what I was reading. It would have had to have been some stupid magazine or something, because we're talking 2002, 2003, sometime like that. And I go to my wife. I'm like, I think I'm thinking about getting into the military. I might enlist in the military. And then like we sat,
Might get kicked out of the military. I think it'd be nice to get kicked out of the military.
No, I
picture yourself completing and being like a soldier.
Well, no, that's the funny thing, is because like then I was just like, well, nah, never. Like cops make more money, and it seems like an easier job. And I remember just thinking like, cops make really good money, and the job, I think I always thought the job seemed easy, even when I was in a state of mind where I was thinking I could become a cop. I was like, it just seems like such an easy fucking job to me. I never saw them as in danger.
No, all they do is agitate people. And if they leave, then the problem is over. Like they step into a thing and agitate the fuck out of somebody until they want to fight them and then arrest them. Yeah. They're not doing anything except for creating circumstances to justify their own existence.
I kind of, part of me wishes I would have taken any sort of a step toward that goal
so you could have known.
Yeah, just so I could know what it's like. Just so I could know, like, would I be able to be a cop? Like, am I the type of person that could be a cop? Because right now, neither one of those things feel like something I could have ever done. I mean, the military was a really stupid, like, kind of passing thought, because I knew that I knew I wasn't going to want to do boot camp. You know what I mean? Like the boot camp, I was like, if I could skip boot camp, I'd do the military. But the police academy also sounds easy. Like it doesn't sound like a hard fucking thing to do. We hear about the physical fitness stuff, but like I see cops. Like you would have to fucking be crazy for me to believe that when I see these cops that they're all like in top peak physical condition. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe it. I don't believe there's any kind of physical fitness test. But I grew up somewhere. I think I grew up somewhere where the police were not Like, so I grew up somewhere where the police did absolutely nothing. They were in zero fucking danger. They were the police for one neighborhood. It wasn't the police, like, for literally they weren't cops that were anywhere else except for this one fucking neighborhood. It was outside of Columbus jurisdiction, but it was only like a mile from like actual Columbus police. So
Right.
the police I saw growing up were fucking chasing me around, like grab assing with me in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, hey, let's fuck with the police. Like they were just getting fucked with by teenagers all day.
They're investigating toilet paperings. They're going and collecting evidence about who toilet papered somebody's house or something.
We thought it was so goddamn funny to stand in the street. We would just be standing out in the street, like smoking and hanging out. And then when a cop came around the corner to just take off running as fast as we could. They would every single time fucking fall for it. And if you jump a fence, like jumping a fence, it just, then you get to see them what they have to do. If like, I remember you would jump 2 fences and then you look back and they'd be getting back in their car to like drive around the block to catch you. Right. Like, the game's already over, dude. You're not going to catch me now. I can actually just go back to where I was and stand there. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what they spend a lot of their time chasing around me as a teenager as well. You did remind me though, that is such an absent thought that people have. I had a friend that was like, I don't know what to do with my life, man. I just feel like I should go to the military and they can tell me what to do. He didn't do that, but he was thinking he was going to do some sort of like private investigator stuff through like community college or some shit. And I don't know why they did this. They gave him a security job at a hotel when he was like 23 years old. Mm-hmm. And he called me and he was like, dude, I just smoked like a fucking blunt. And when I get inside, they're telling me that one of the maids like stole a watch out of somebody's thing and I'm supposed to investigate. I'm supposed to like collect evidence. He's like, I'm 23 years old. I don't know what the fuck is going on. He's like, I can't prove anything. He's like, I don't care if she stole it anyways. He's like, he was just had this meltdown. He went into auto body painting like directly after that.
Yeah.
But it tested like how much of a cop you actually want to be when you have to like get somebody in trouble and not care. It's like, I don't want this lady to get in trouble. She doesn't get paid anything.
Yeah, you're right too. It is kind of like that. I think I got saved by my laziness more than anything, because I think at the time I thought being a cop would be a masterful like thing to do. And I still sometimes think like, not as a cop, I would never be a cop, obviously, but I still sometimes think like, man, if I had to go back and get a real fucking job, security guard sounds like a real top level good fucking job to get, because you just sit around. They're all just sitting around. You know what I mean?
Moseying.
I mean,
watching porn on their phones in the booth.
I would rather be, I mean, if the world was good and like everybody was taken care of and there wasn't all this desperation, plain clothes like loss prevention guy sounds like the job. But like, really? I would never do. Yeah, because you don't have to wear a uniform. Because the goofiest thing about security guards, right, is the fact that they put them in security guard uniforms that kind of look like police uniforms, but it'll be like they don't have a belt. And like they always look so fucking goofy, man.
So slovenly.
They give them a badge, which I think is the funniest shit in the world. Like a guy gets up in the morning and pins his badge on so he can sit in his car in an apartment complex.
Yeah.
In his car that just says patrol on the side. Have you seen those?
Plenty.
They'll put green and yellow lights on top of it and the word patrol written like police.
One time I went to this church, this gigantic fucking church in Northern Virginia near DC. And I was throwing boxes away to do recycling because for some reason had read there was like a public recycling box there. So I drove to it and this fucking patrol car comes speeding up on me to stop to get me to take my recycling out of their fucking dumpster.
Yeah. I do remember. And it was just a guy. It wasn't a cop.
It was just a guy. It was no, it's just it was the church security. He had a patrol car. They paid enough to get the full outfit and everything. They got the full cosplay.
The fucking outfit is the best. The outfit that those security guards wear. The outfit that the security guards wear in my there's a Nationwide insurance right in my neighborhood, and their security has a car that looks like a cop car, but they also carry guns. Like they actually do carry guns, and it's like, what do you need? What are you gonna fucking need a gun for, dude? And they're 24/7.
Because Nationwide knows they're mistreating people so badly that one's going to come back with a gun as retribution.
That is a good point. That is actually a good point.
Instead of paying their people, they're paying to prevent their employees from going nationwide on their ass.
Yeah.
That'll be the new term.
So you see them like with their guns, and they're kind of in the car, but like when I see them, even though they have a gun, like they can't shoot you. Yeah,
they would go to jail. Probably
they would go to jail if they shot.
They're in a very stupid situation because you feel like you can use the gun, but don't, because you're going to face criminal charges for that, and Nationwide's not going to back you up.
Yes. That is so funny to think about, like that they have a gun, and it just makes their job more dangerous. Like it doesn't improve anything, because if somebody comes in with a gun, they're just gonna shoot them. You know what I mean? Like they have a gun. It's so stupid. But yeah, they wear blue collared shirts, like polo shirts, but they're carrying the gun, and they're driving around in a car that looks like the police. And I just can't picture a time where I would stop for them. Like if I was walking by doing something, or even if I was like casing Nationwide to do some kind of terrorist act or something, if they came up to me and said, "Sir, what are you doing?" I'd be like, "Eat shit."
Yeah, fuck off. Catch me.
Go do something else, you know? Okay. Yeah. The janitor at the public school building seems cool. I could definitely see that, because the janitor at my old school had an office. And you know, it was in the boiler room.
Yeah.
But he was allowed to smoke in there.
Right.
You walk by and smell cigs. He would just pop the back door open and smoke cigs. And it's like you had two like really important times during the day. You had to handle lunch, and that was it. So there's like 2 hours where you're handling lunch, and then maybe you clean the bathrooms because
it delivers some sawdust if somebody pukes.
Yeah. Or, you know, you wouldn't want to do it at a high school, though. I think you wouldn't want to be a janitor at a high school.
That's all I thought about doing. I would love to go in there as the new janitor and see how it works out.
Dude, I think I'd rather do elementary school, because the thing I know about high school is that, I mean, high school students play with their shit too much, man. Like that's the problem with working at a high school. At least once a year, you're going to have some fucking guy that shits in a bag and throws it out in the hallway as a funny gag. You don't want to be cleaning that up, you know?
Okay.
That's right. Sam said at the admin building, janitor at the admin building. Now that's a fucking job. Yeah. That's fresh. I would do that. I would definitely do that. Well, let's listen to that dipshit real quick. That really
the new
guy. Yeah, there's a new guy out there. If people don't know,
I'm excited.
Yeah, you excited about Alex Walker?
Well, because Alex Walker, yeah, because we do, like, we did Blystone, and we do all of these caricatures, these crazy people that are on the right wing, and like our liberals are just so weak, and like none of them have any guts. They're just like feckless and losers, and we can't even get like, I mean, Dennis Kucinich was like a laughing stock forever just for having really sensible views on like marijuana and healthcare and shit and sex work. And it's like, there's no extreme leftists that ever get power. AOC is a liberal. AOC is not like a leftist in power. We don't like, I want somebody that's as insane as Marjorie Taylor Greene, but like our version of it. Like, why don't we get that? We should get that representation too. Bernie Sanders is not mean enough or crazy enough for me to represent my viewpoints.
I agree with you too. I never even considered that, like a Lauren Boebert for the left. And
Right.
like that is something that I can visualize that winning. If you're just fucking willing to go out there and say whatever to whip people up into a frenzy, that is like the way to go. You know,
it's unacceptable. Give us our insulin right now. Everybody, insulin's a human right. Rabies medication is a human right. Just every day.
yeah. I mean, you're right about that too. Just going out there and yelling, just going out there and just screaming
The most
and
deranged
saying like
stuff.
everybody should be allowed to have health care. Everybody, you know what I mean? Kids should get free fucking school food and shit like that. Just like we should be funding schools, not war, and just yelling shit like that. And then like when the conservatives come after you, when they say like, look at you, you know, you said this extreme shit, and you're just like, fuck you, you know.
Yeah, I stand. The people stand with me. They're not bad neighborhoods. They're black neighborhoods. Say it out loud. We've been underfunding them ever since we created them. Yeah.
Yes. So here is the Alex Walker, the new guy. This guy is so new. I'm gonna play his first video. The problem with this guy, well, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, he's great.
Oh,
Jesus. In order to legislate, you have to win. Go to Walker for Colorado.
oh, I went to the wrong one.
Flub.
Yeah,
flub,
that's kind
flub.
of a flub.
Flub it up.
Well, I'll say this.
Flubba dubba dub dub. Oh, that's a good
his-
shirt.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if people would wear a Pickle Rick type of shirt.
It's gonna be with Morty though.
Yeah. So I can't play the commercial
Rick.
that you sent me, but if you could,
Why?
well, because there's no words in it. It
Wait,
wouldn't-
what?
There's no words in it. It's just a commercial where people are like walking around and actual shit is falling out of the sky.
No, he gives a speech. He gives a speech in it.
He gives a whole speech in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
does he
man.
says he's like we're tired of the bullshit.
Oh, I know, but
And he's
most of it-
he's holding up the baby. Yeah, we got to get it so that people can see it on the stream.
Yeah, I just want to play the TikToks, but I'm looking for them and having a lot of trouble here. Okay, here we go. I think I got it. I think he shares his TikToks on Twitter, which is, you know,
Cross poster. Got to get those views.
yeah. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, so I guess he doesn't. Okay. Well, let's just, I can't find him. I fucking cannot find this guy. He actually is holding his middle finger up in his profile picture. I thought I had the right one up and I didn't. So it's going to take me 2 seconds.
You're looking for his TikTok that he did about
the first
leftists?
TikTok. I have the second one up here. But I need the first one that went viral yesterday. Okay. I got it, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that doesn't know. I wanted them to hear it before we drag him behind.
Drag him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find him. I'm looking. I can't believe I didn't just save it somewhere. I didn't save it
That's
because
so
I thought I'd be
surprising.
able to find it, you know. You
Should be able
know?
to just pluck it out of thin air.
Yeah. For real. Boebert. Boebert. All right, this one it's gotta show up, right? Oh my god. Brett, this is killing me.
I'm wondering what's going on.
I
Can
know.
I find it? I don't know his name. I just know how annoying
His
he is.
name's Alex Walker, but
Okay.
his that TikTok that he shared.
I gotcha.
uh,
I'm sending it to you right now in your
all right.
DM.
Oh, it goes down there. All right.
Oh no.
All right, here we go.
I do like Snapchat. He says Snapchat me that pussy in that song. I'm using Snapchat more and I love it. Sorry to tell everybody, but taking creep shots of people in public and just sharing it to your friends is the funniest shit in the world. Not
So we'll
creep, just of bizarre people.
So here's
Not
what we'll do. We're gonna
Did
play.
you get it?
This is the new one. It's not the first one that
I just sent it to you.
went viral yesterday. No, this is the new one from. This sucks. Hold on, give me 2 fucking seconds.
I swear it's sitting in your DMs right now.
I just looked. It's the same one I had, but I might be able to get it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got
Yeah,
you.
that first
that-
one. Yeah, that was all over Twitter, and for some reason not actually showing up anymore.
Folks, here he is. Here he is. I got him.
All right,
coming your
DM
way.
that shit to me.
Folks, this is Street Fighter. We're telling you we're smart and hip and we know how to use the internet way better than these Democrats, for sure.
You got it. That's the right one. All right, here we go.
I love when people are like, you have a moderate policy, you lost my vote. Oh, what vote was that? Was that the vote you were going to give to some Bernie wannabe whose overkill policies are unpopular with 75% of voters, just so you could feel good about yourself until they lose the general election, at which point you'll point your finger and blame someone else? That vote? Oh, huh.
Oh, I hate this guy so much.
It's the worst guy.
This is the worst. I think when we're talking about types of guys, I think this is a type of this guy I truly do not like. I find him, you know, the baby voice he does. Oh, is that how he feels? That is like infuriating to me. Like he really fucking. Oh.
Yeah, this is extremely triggering to me, to be honest, because it takes me back to when I followed my ex down to Texas. She got this job at this really like cool and up and coming and modern architecture place. Like everybody that worked there was like A students, and there was people that had like multiple houses and shit. And this is exactly what it was like to go out with them for brunch. Like this is the brunch. This is a brunch crew candidate that's just like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these Bernie bros trying to make me feel bad about gentrification, trying to make me feel bad about public schools. Fuck it. They need to be told to go home because nobody likes them. Nobody wants to hear this kumbaya bullshit. Like, and then everybody at brunch is like,
yeah. Grimoire in the chat said he's got a great mocking voice, and I'm gonna agree with that. I'll give you that. Like
this is why people go.
This is a good mocking voice, and it is like this is a guy who hasn't come in contact with a conservative in a very fucking long time, and this TikTok is him doing what he cosplays he's gonna do to if he ever meets a conservative or a leftist.
It's so weak. It's beating up straw men. Yeah, and this is when I think about like my people that I know that you know, hate the homeless in Austin because they make the city look bad. Don't want to address in any other way than like pressuring them to get a job or throwing them in jail. You know, and this is the guy that's just going to be like, you need to shut your mouth.
Yeah,
he says TLDR. I'm going to tell if Lauren Boebert says that she's going to take over this county, I'm going to tell her, girl, bye. And it's like, you're not saying anything.
You're going to lose.
You're doing like a theater performance of a fake conversation. You're telling off people that you could not intellectually deal with. They're gnawing at you. They bother you. It bothers you that you've chose money and development, and with the spread of social media, with the spread of TikTok, people are seeing more and more how nakedly awful it is that the Democrats represent us or do anything. They don't do anything for us, and they aren't popular. Bernie Sanders is very fucking popular. If you take his ideas and poll people, most people are into it. It's this type of stuff that's divisive. You're the most divisive person. No, I don't like it. You're just condescending to everybody.
Yeah, if I don't like you, well, I mean, I don't like a lot of people, but here's a little bit more.
Else? That vote? Oh, honey, your vote got lost a long time ago.
Okay.
Democrats need to wake up. Jesus, in order to legislate, we have to win. Go to walkerforcolorado.com and stop complaining.
Yeah, hate it.
So I hated that, but today, I didn't tweet it yesterday, but today this one comes out.
This is the problem I have too, is that like I keep my mouth mostly shut around these people, so they think they can take me, because it is hard to like talk shit to like a gay dude. I don't talk shit to gay people or black people. Like whenever about like black capitalism and Beyonce and Jay-Z, like it just looks bad. I get it. Like, and you can always just say that I'm like a hateful, toxically masculine white dude, and that will basically make anything I say like irrelevant. You know, like this person wins every time because I'm just cis het, you know.
I mean, this guy, in my opinion, is sort of, it's a toxicity, and like
It's the worst kind.
it's that kind of like
White gays.
liberal, and it's that
same motherfucker that was busting his pussy open at that like climate change rally. Like, nobody needs this. Nobody needs to see you pretend to be like a black drag queen. Nobody needs to see your best performance of a black drag queen. That's not going to do anything for the office or for the movement.
Well, and this guy, in my opinion, this guy, oh, I forget what I was going to say. Well, for Pete's sake, let's play the next video.
I apologize.
Here.
I cut you off.
Yesterday, I got canceled for making the outrageous claim that ultra-progressive candidates can't win in...
Okay. I'm going to just start this out. If you're starting your video by saying yesterday I got canceled,
yeah,
I mean, that's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard somebody say out loud, you know? And here's more.
In blood red districts like mine, and that if you vote for one, you're throwing your vote away. Yeah. Every vote matters, but don't throw yours away on some ultra-liberal pipe dream who has no shot just to make yourself feel warm and fuzzy at night. In order to legislate, Democrats must win. And in order to win, we need to nominate candidates who represent the district and play smart with common sense policies that can win.
Has this ever worked in the history of the world? Has just going moderate, is that really
Roe versus
gonna
Wade?
work?
We're going to lose Roe versus Wade. And they've been ever since I can vote, ever since George W. Bush versus Al Gore, they've been insisting that Bill Clinton would do something, you know?
Yeah.
That any of these people made a difference. There has been, I mean, there has been some wins, but they're acting way too confident.
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. I mean, the Republicans wreak havoc on everything, so it's nice to have a little breather, but the Democrats do almost nothing. Why they're in office?
They suck. I
mean, the school lunch program for Obama, that's something that's like, I can see with my own eyes that is helping people like at my school. You know, those are popular though. That to me is the ultra progressive stuff that Obama did, you know, is providing school lunch for free for communities where people are on WIC or, you know, EBT.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like healthcare stuff is an easy fucking win.
Yeah.
Like Bernie only runs on healthcare. He barely runs on anything else. I don't know what else he's running on besides that. And Medicare, it's Social Security and shit. Like, everybody loves this stuff. Yeah, everybody likes this stuff. All you have to, I mean, it's this, like we said, people are going to like Donald Trump the same reason they like George W. Bush. Checks came in the mail. Cash money came in the mail with the president's signature on it.
Yeah.
That's what people, that is all people care about. They do not care about the window dressing around it. They do not care how diversified it was or anything. Joe Biden lied about his money and it dried up. He never, you know, and like,
yeah,
I don't get it. They just create a bad vibe every time they're in. Like nobody likes them. I know I don't like them. They're not likable.
They're this.
Not some platform designed to placate your overwoke Twitter temper tantrum pipe dreams. And we need someone strong enough to stand up to the bullshit, including Lauren Boebert's bullshit, but also including the bullshit in our own party trying to tear down Democrats with a shot. TLDR, I'm not sorry, and I've got my eye on the only prize that matters. Winning.
Money.
He's like
campaign donations is I've got my eye on the only thing that matters. Campaign donations.
I'm gay. I can tear down a woman.
Yeah.
Like I have the right to be mean to a woman. No other candidate could do this. No guy with a beard, no white guy with a beard that's a podcaster could ever tear down a woman the way that I do.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, fuck this guy.
It's the worst. You got to play you got to look up he has an ad and you should play it and just describe it.
Well, all it is he says no more. Basically, it's just he ends it by saying no more bullshit. But what it is like literal, actual turds,
poop
falling from the sky, poop. Like
pieces of shit.
pieces of shit are falling on the ground, and like people are just getting shit all over their face, and like it's knocking people out. And it's basically his thing is like enough of the bullshit, which is Trump's thing too. Like Trump, if you drive anywhere 2 minutes outside of town, you'll see 100 Trump signs that say bullshit, no more bullshit. You know, you got to look him up, Alex Walker. Watch his campaign video because it's fucked up.
But who? I mean, Brian, if you let's just say some movie script version of where there was enough write-ins, people just the people heard street fight and there was enough write-ins to make you an actual legal candidate and you had to run. Would you ever play around in poop? Like, would you ever associate with just shit? Would you ever show, like, out of nowhere, hit people with an advertisement of children getting shit thrown all over them? Would you associate yourself with that?
I mean, I'm gonna say
it looks so bad. It's funny. If Sarah Squirm did it, it would be fucking hilarious. But you want us to take us seriously, and now you are the candidate that plays in poop.
I actually would say, you know, even just to. I would also, this is something the Republicans do, okay, or don't do, that the Democrats do. Republicans don't take shots at people to their right. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? Like the most right-wing people, the Republicans don't take shots at those people. If I was actually running for office, I don't think I would take shots at people to the left of me. Like that, Democrats always believe that they're further to the left than they are. They will always believe they have no clue. They will always fucking say the same thing. I'm as left wing as they come, but
I'm a bleeding heart liberal.
Yeah,
but these people aren't working. These people don't work hard enough, and we need more police to solve this problem.
Yeah, I would never. I see the Republicans as being like just scumbags, but they don't even badmouth the
they're a gang
ones.
They're a gang. You're right, exactly. They don't even go after, they don't even deny the racist people, or that like all racists are Republicans. They do not deny that. They will not try to cleave those people off. They do not want to clean up their image or anything. They're a gang.
Yeah. I mean,
they're literally down for each other. And like, we cannot find any sort of agreement because of people like Alex Walker that are too busy trying to pretend like they're as cool as the Republicans, or as tough, tough, not cool, but just tough. They want to be like, I'm a loose hinge. You know, I'll fly off the handle. I say whatever I want. This is all bullshit. And like, nobody knows what that means.
I think I might even like wish that I kind of in a way wish that the Democrats were like the Republicans in a way, like in that, like, I feel like I could be a part of that party.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can't. I could never identify with these people. That
only keeps Joe Manchin in.
Yeah.
You're more worried about keeping Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema appeased than you are the folks that are trying to help the most amount of people, which is your voting base. You are literally doing this for voters. And the type of policies the ultra left is going for, if you take ownership for them, like you should, this is another thing, like, you know, you should brag and be proud of giving money to people and giving benefits to people, but you people live off of cutting. People live off of denying. Like you know how to make the hard decision on who gets welfare and who doesn't.
Yeah, and you could also think of like, listen, if I was running like the White House, if I was Joe Biden's chief of staff, or if I was Joe Biden, I would have already given 3 $2,000 checks over the time since he's been in office. I would just be fucking throwing money out there. I'd find any fucking reason. I know they want to pretend like COVID's over, so they're not going to throw out any more COVID checks. But I would, right now, I'd be like, oh, gas is awfully expensive. Here's a $2,000
check. Here's a gas. Here's a gas check. Here's a MasterCard Visa for everybody. $500 from Uncle Joe. I know it's tough this year. For your Easter card.
Yeah. And it would be so.
He is risen.
It would be so. Yeah. You would get Christmas money from me. You would get.
Yes.
You would.
Joe Biden should be the grandpa we wanted. Just give us money on our birthdays and holidays.
Dude, that is an idea I never considered because of such a lack of imagination in our government and our political discourse. We should get money on our birthday and on Christmas. We should. They should just toss us a fucking check on our fucking birthday, man. It's right there on the birth certificate. They got all the information.
They know.
Just send me fucking $50, dude.
Yeah.
It would be great, but they're going to get beat in the midterms really badly.
Oh, yeah. Bobert's going to steamroll. He's going to dog walk his ass.
They're going to make fun of us and say that it's our fault.
So we did it. Yeah.
But, you know, they did it.
Because we
It's all right.
demanded that the Democrats not compete to be more conservative than the conservatives.
Oh, Sam Kane. I'm sorry. Leap year babies get it on February 28th. I would never do that. Psychic gasoline. I just wish they would do my taxes for me. I agree. I wish that the government just sent you a fucking bill. Just send me a fucking bill. Why do I have to figure out the bill? And why does it feel like I'm tiptoeing on a fucking in a minefield when I do it? Because nobody knows shit about taxes. I mean, we have a guy, but I'm saying if you had to do your taxes now, forget about it. There's no fucking way.
Why am I claiming 12 children for the summer months so that I have an extra $45 a week to take my kids out to do something entertaining when they're out of school and then claiming 0 kids for the other 6 months while they're in school? What does any of it mean? It's also like, it also makes me mad just because we do have a tax guy. And like, I get these like letters in the mail that are like, you owe this money. And he's like, no, you fucking don't. He just replies immediately, no, you don't. You're not going to pay that.
I get him
to pay that.
I get the IRS is so behind on your payments.
Oh God. Yeah.
That like I've already paid. I paid off my 2020 taxes finally this month. Like I got them all. I got it all paid off. And they still say I owe the first amount. And I'm like, eat shit, buddy. I paid that fucking money. God, I hate they should pay us. They should do our taxes for us. That should be something that Joe Biden is just like, we're just going to fucking do your taxes for you, dude. Like, that's what it should be. Do you think that in the founding father days, that people were filling out 1040s and shit like that? No, the fucking tax guy came up and knocked on your door and said, give me $40. And then you handed him $40. And then a year later, the tax guy came to your door and said, give me $40. $40 might be too much for that time, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they would just tell you what you owe and you would just give it to him. Now it's like a thing. And it's also like, you know, they like, I don't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, they make it hard so that the companies can get money. Obviously, the tax preparation companies and
TurboTax and H&R Blocks. H&R Blocks are keeping lots of strip malls alive. If there wasn't an H&R Block, it's like the anchor of so many strip malls.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've read the articles about the TurboTax and the tax lobbies making things harder. It's the same thing when I was complaining on Twitter the other day of so for my ketamine infusions, I fundraised on Venmo because I don't use Venmo ever.
Yeah.
And somebody very kind, I don't know if he would want people to know who it was, sent me $500 on Zelle, and it went into my bank account. And I had to transfer that $500 into my Venmo. It took 6 days to get to my Venmo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I swear. And I was complaining about it, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, it's
Wait,
so they
Zelle to Venmo?"
No, my bank to Venmo. Zelle goes right into, if you pay with Zelle, Zelle goes right into your bank account. It doesn't go into Zelle. It just goes directly right in. But then I want all the money in Venmo. I want all that infusion money in Venmo because it's away from my money. Like, all that money's just there and it's away from mine, and I won't
keep it separate. Okay.
Yeah. And
because otherwise you get that Titanic Lego.
Yeah. And so I wanted to drop it in Venmo so it was away from me. And 6 days. 6 motherfucking days. And somebody explained it to me that they do that so the bankers can play with the money for a few days.
Yeah, they hold on to it and make interest off of it.
Yeah. And it fucking seems crazy that it would take 6 days for the numbers to change on the app. It just seems nuts to me. Like our banking system, they do that on purpose. They do it so you float checks. They do all of that stuff. And it fucking sucks. And I heard they don't do that in other countries. Like in other countries, it's like instantaneous. You can fucking move money around instantaneously. But what if I needed to move money into my Venmo to pay for something and it took 6 days? Like that's a long time. That's like a decade for guys like me who are really bad with money.
Inconvenient.
Yeah. All right, that's Street Fight for the week.
It sure is. Thanks for tuning in. We do this every single week on Wednesday nights. If you got some extra time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're here, twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio, talking shit about the world. We've been doing it for 11 years now, and we'll continue to do so. We're Street Fight WCRS on Instagram, which I've been posting a ton on recently. Twitter. Twitter is tough because you should probably just get a hold of me. I'm at Brett Payne, BRETTPAIN. He's Murder X Brian. The main account doesn't get checked as much as it should. I did get a prescription for Wellbutrin, so maybe I will have some sort of regular life in the future.
Quit smoking too. I
already did.
I know it sucks. I was gonna get on Wellbutrin so I could quit smoking cigarettes, but then I just did it.
You know what? Actually, I did have a good moment with that guy last night. I told you before that I like men therapists because really hard. I handle things in like a very angry, bottled up, masculine way. So I need like other guys around, like a big brother type, to just kind of pat me on the back. But I told him that I quit smoking and how I did it and everything. And before we got off the phone, he was like, "Hey man, you're on your way and you already quit that," which is like a huge accomplishment. So like, he said, "I'm really proud of you." And it's like a salt and pepper gray. He's older. He's like, he could be my dad's age. And I was like, wanted to tear up. I was like, "Thank you. It's nice to hear that." Because I was like, I just did it because I felt miserable because I was like internally I was dying, but I never got to like celebrate that win with anybody. It was nice.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
We'll be back on Sunday night to take your phone calls.
Call us.
Next Wednesday, I'm going to see wait, is it next Wednesday? Nope, never mind. Wrong one. I'll get to it later. All right, peace.